It's your boy Mac Mean, true story. All stories ain't true. You already know this one is. Boom, boom, boom. Yo, before we even start, let me tell y'all, hit the notification bell, man. If you subscribe to me, press the bell so you can get the notifications. A lot of people ain't pressing the button, so it's my duty to remind y'all, you know what I'm saying? Take a minute to hit the notification bell right now, you know what I'm saying? Do yourself a favor. Or, I feel sorry for your mother, because we'll come to see you, you know what I'm saying? And before y'all get in the comments, talk about Mac Mean, miss jail, y'all better pray for him, or Mac Mean was having a good time in jail or whatever, in prison, Rikers Island. I probably was. I just want y'all regular people to know, don't try none of this at home. True story, you know what I'm saying? Now, let me just let y'all know. When I worked in the mess hall, I stole everything I could steal possible, like rice, whatever you had, flour, oil, whatever jail I was in, I stole. But we talking about specifically Rikers Island when I didn't work in the mess hall, and I used to have to go to the mess hall to get my little things and sell later on. How I was able to sell it later on is because I recreated what I'll explain it to you like this. Let's say, for instance, right, when I was in HDM, I would go to the mess hall, and then my boy Ace, the dude from Paid in Full, he would steal like some chicken. He would take a whole chicken. And I used to look at him like, yo, you know, like, why is he stealing chicken later on? How the hell is he going to heat it up in a cell block and stuff like that? Man, Ace used to take that chicken, right, and strip all the chicken off the bone, then take packs of mayonnaise, take the mayonnaise, put it in there, throw the little seasoning in it, you know what I'm saying? Take the ramen noodle, mix that up with it, and then make sandwiches, and that would be our night meal or whatever, right? But I took it a step further. What I did was I incorporated some mess hall stuff with some commissary stuff to make something else. For instance, when I was at HDM and 4 block, there was an empty cell that was empty for a while. And the seats, our seats and our desks, they stainless steel, right? But normally in the cells, they've been, the seats in I don't remember about the desk, but I definitely remember the seat, because a lot of cells didn't have a desk. They had those seats for sure. It was little stainless steel round seats, and they would get painted over and over the years. Typically, they would be green in HDM, like light green. But over the years, that paint will be real thick. You know what I'm saying? But one day I found a cell that was never painted, or they took a new seat and put it in it. It was brand new. So what I would do was the comic cans, right? We would use a seat as a pan, right? Take a comic can. Let's say, for instance, this is a can of comic, and this is comic in Ajax is like a bathroom cleaner or whatever. All right, you take that. Now you take a sheet. You rip the sheet up in a long way like this. Let's say, for instance, you rip it your sheet into shit like this. You know what I'm saying? You take it like this, and then you take the sheet and you would roll it up like this. Follow me for a second, y'all. Some interesting shit, right? And this will be like a burner. And then you would take the top of the sheet and pull it out, right? Just like this. Tuck it in. And then put it on top of the comic can, because the comic can is metal at the top. And then you will have this sitting under the seat, right? And then you light this, about 4 of these under the seat. And they'll just keep on going, and they'll just keep on burning. You know what I'm saying? Now, what you will do next is take it, you know, now from the mess hall, you stealing butter and all of this. This will light for an hour, you know, like literally for an hour. Let me take this and throw this out the window for now, because we don't need it. You know what I'm saying? Now, that will light up for about an hour. Now you take the mess hall butter. Okay, this is how you take, you know what I'm saying, like you steal from the mess hall. Like say, for instance, you're gonna need a bunch of butter for later on, right? Back in the days, they used to have these big bars of butter, and they would cut a piece and then give it to you. Then they transitioned into these little packs and stuff like that, and they would come in like a long tray. you know, and then it'll be like 100 butters in it. So you'll get everybody's butter. We'll, you know, scrape the butter up, put it in something plastic, whatever, throw it in your pocket. Now you got the butter for later on. Now you light that grill up, put that butter on it. They start smelling the cell blocks. Now what I would do is I would do like what Ace did. Take the chicken, I will strip all the chicken off of there. Then I'll take some cheese that we had from the commissary, and I will use and take the cheese and the bread. So the bread, like the buns, fry the buns on top of the stove, and put the buns to the side. Get all the buns done. They're not gonna be real hot by the time you eat it, but the meat, pause, will be hot. So you take the the chicken, throw it up on there. Take your little seasonings, throw it up in there. You might put some crumble up some Cheez-Its or something on top of it. Mix it all up and sell the sandwiches. You know what I'm saying? Sell 2 sandwiches for a pack of cigarettes. So here it is, like once you itemize it down and what you paid for in the mess hall, I mean in the commissary versus and along with what you got for the mess hall, you start to see a profit. And Friday night before the games come on or whatever's popping off for that night, everybody want to get their food on. You know what I mean? I used to have HDM lit. COs used to come back there and get sandwiches for me. Niggas is outside rolling dice like, yo, give me 3 McNasties. I used to call them McNasty sandwiches. You know what I mean? Me, my boy Jarve, God bless the dead, and Ty Guns used to do this together. Ty Guns is one of the more known, you know what I'm saying, gang banging motherfuckers that I ran with. This is before he was banging, really. You know, 'cause I think he was blood back then. But he used to hide it because the block that we was in, you know what I'm saying, we didn't allow bloods up in there. You know what I mean? We didn't allow bloods, Latin Kings, there was just no gangs up in the house. That particular house, it was like that. You know what I'm saying? So, also, like by the time I got up north, you gotta think about it like this. If you in jail, you know, let me wrap that HDM story up. And let me just tell you the real deal about state prison, right? When you go upstate, a lot of times, once you get locked up, or everything turned crickets. The people that loved you, the chick that said that she's gonna die for you, y'all got matching tattoos on your butt cheeks together. You know what I'm saying? She's out of there, bruh. She with Jody. Jody is boom, boom, boom. Jody got your chick. You know what I'm saying? As soon as the judge give you that sentence, Jody is, you know what I mean? So you got to figure out what you're going to do. A lot of y'all dudes, you ain't got no family that's going to take care of you. What are you going to do? Me, I did it all. The mess hall was a good, okay, check it out. The reason why I always went to work in the mess hall, a lot of times I would be in the mess hall, is because the mess hall, a lot of jails, once you got that food service certificate, the mess hall was the highest paying job. And then on top of that, it's the highest perk job. So you get into a jail like, okay, like Attica, right? And you in Attica, and they don't, you know, one of the big things in Attica that I used to bring back was, what did I used to bring back in Attica? Let me be accurate, because every jail was different. What did they want a lot in there? Rice, I think. I think they wanted rice in Attica. I think we got rice from the commissary, but it was like that industrial rice, that heavy rice that they wanted out of there. In Collins, it was like flour. If you got flour or like vegetable shortening, I remember we used to have these big boxes of vegetable shortening. I remember I got caught with a bag of cornflakes, frosted flakes that was like this big. I had it under my shit, right? Like that. I'm talking about my whole, but I didn't have far to go back to my cell block. I mean, my front was like this and the back was like that too. I was like, yo, just stuff it up there, cause you get the big bag of cereal. I'm like, just put it in there, just put it in. Don't worry about it. I got it. Coming from the back of the mess hall, think everything is clear, right? And it's a straight line to your block. So I mean, literally, if there's no COs in between the mess hall and the block, yo, I'm in there, home sweet home. And then when I get to the block, the cops that's in there is already with the program, so they not saying nothing about, yo, why I go to the side of the mess hall. Now, there's a wall right here, right? After this wall, let's say the wall is about 2 feet long. But I'm like, on this side, I'm on this side of the wall, and the wall's right here. directly on the other side of the wall, smoking a fucking cigarette, was the sergeant. You know what I'm saying? And his name was Sergeant Nowitzki. He was an idiot. He was a dog. You know what I mean? So normally I would send people first. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. I would clear everybody. Boom, boom, boom. And then I'll be last one. This day I went first and I had it all up in my jacket, B. I went like this. One of those dudes like, Jones. I said, oh, shit. All the other dudes that was with me, I was about to leave, ran back in the mess hall and dumped everything they got. I got caught by Sergeant Whiskey. He was like, what you got? Let me get it. So I showed him everything I had or whatever. They gave me a surcharge. And, excuse me, on top of the cereal, I had a big log of ground beef, maybe a 20-pound log of ground beef. He was going to let me rock with the cereal. It wasn't the cereal, even though cereal was mad obvious. Ground beef was like $150, you know what I'm saying? And it probably was way cheaper than that, but that's the price that they do, right? So that was my operation, man, stealing from the mess hall, man. That, drawing, you know, gambling. I used to do a lot of shit. A lot of things that I wasn't supposed to be doing. As a Muslim, you ain't supposed to be stealing and gambling and smoking weed and shit, but I did all that too. But the mess hall is a particular game because think about it like this. If you in a jail where you get everything from the commissary, from the commissary or from a package, but oil, you can't have it. That means that everything that you got to get boiled or baked or something like that. You can't, there's no way to fry it unless you make a stinger. And if they find your stinger in certain jails, you go into the box. So, how we did it was we used the hot pots. We like regulated the hot pots so they could go higher because the hot pots is only designed to get a certain amount of heat to it. You know what I'm saying? So you turn it, you fix it up so it could go higher. And then you put that vegetable shortening and Collins. I remember I made a lot of money off of that vegetable shortening. I took that vegetable shortening as often as I can and wrapped it up in like saran wrap. We used to have these big industrial saran wraps. You'll just take a glob of that shit, throw it on the saran wrap, and just keep on wrapping it until it's secure. Tuck it in your nuts, you know what I'm saying, and then sell it to one of them poor bastards. Feel me? They be crazy happy when they can fry all that Jack Mac up, you know what I mean? And Collins, though, I think Honor Block was able to get oil or something like that. They used to like, you know, like, I forgot the requirements to get the Honor Block, but I know Honor Blocks used to get a lot of shit that we couldn't get. And then some of them cats up there, they would sell they shit for top dollar, you know, but the mess hall was just a regular flow. Some jails didn't have rice. Rice was a hot commodity. Some jails didn't have flour. Flour was going, I think Attica didn't have flour. Because I remember going to Collins and they did have flour. I went to Collins from Attica. But anyway, the mess hall hustle, big hustle. Big hustle, big hustle. And we're not talking about the regular food that they're serving after it's served. Nobody buys that shit. We talking about raw food, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna tell you some more as I move along, because I remember some things. I just seen somebody else talking about the gel food and stuff like that, and it brought a lot of memories back. But I don't want to keep this video real long, so I'll tell you a few stories, some funny shit, real funny but true stories. And like I said, it's for educational purposes. You know what I mean? Don't try none of this shit at home or jail. You know what I mean? Because it's a different time. A lot of things that we did back in the days coming up, it's like unthought of or unheard of today. But it was a real thing back then. Like when I tell people that HDM, they used to serve fried chicken and chuletas, pork chops. You know what I'm saying? I actually seen a dude get cut in the Beacon over chuletas. And we're going to talk about that soon. But anyway, let me sign off for now. It's your boy Mac Mean, true story, all stories ain't true. This one is, you know what I mean? If y'all want to hear more about this story, you know, let me know your what y'all would like to hear about it and stuff like that. Or if you want to hear anything in particular, I'm willing to open up the doors and talk about some of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because some of it was real funny, you know what I mean? And like I said, it's sad to say that I had a lot of fun in jail at certain times. Some people just victimize their own selves the whole time, their whole entire bit. That wasn't me. There was a time period where I did feel like that, but it wasn't for long. You know, for the most part, when you're doing time, you have to prepare yourself to get with the program and survive that shit. In order to survive it, you got to thrive in certain areas. And it doesn't necessarily have to be negative, but you have to find something that you're gonna thrive in. For me, it was different things: artwork, learning, school, college. You know what I mean? Like the programs I took. You know what I'm saying? Or just building new sort of relationships, because I was real closed-minded in the street. I ended up interacting with different people, and you learn different hustles, and you learn different ways to do things. And the number one thing you learn is that how ignorant or not knowing you are, just keeping yourself with your own little borough or whatever, or city. Anyway, that's it. Once again, Mac mean true story or stories ain't true. This one is.